During the chaotic year of the 5 emperors, the son of a former slave rose to the throne of the Roman Empire after a meteoric rise through the ranks of the military and politics to replace a madman who thought himself a god. Publius Helvius Pertinax was born in Italy in 126 CE, the son of a former slave turned successful businessman in the timber industry. Pertinax was named using the naming convention of the Roman elite, the Tria Nomina. It was a means to show off his father's success and social rise to the rest of the world. While estimates put the literacy rate of ancient Rome at 10%, Pertinax was educated in the rudiments of literature, arithmetic, and written Latin and Greek before studying at an advanced school, where geometry, music, advanced mathematics, astronomy, grammar, logic, and rhetoric were the focus. Pertinax himself would not follow in his father's footsteps. He would instead become a grammarian or teacher before joining the military in his mid-30s with the patronage of an officer. An unusual pathway in an age where the average Roman's life expectancy, if you lived past age 10, is estimated to be 40 to 50 years old. This man sponsored him to become part of the equestrian class of Roman society, which ranked below the senatorial class. It was a property-based class, and if you're confused, think of it as similar to upper middle class today. Belonging to this social class was required to become an officer. His military career would take him through the Parthian War of 161 to 166 CE. The Roman and Parthian empires waged war over control of Armenia and Upper Mesopotamia. He was posted to a cavalry unit. He's said to have distinguished himself during the campaign and caught the eye of his superiors. He was then promoted and sent to the frontier in Britannia. From there he became squadron commander in late 166 CE. He was in charge of either a cavalry unit or a regional fleet in the lower Danube and Black Sea. Promotions were coming quickly now. He received a position as magistrate in charge of Rome's grain supply before being named suffect consul, the highest elected political officer in the Roman Empire. Afterwards, he was governor of the provinces of Upper and Lower Moesia, Dacia, Syria, and finally governor of Britain. His dizzying ascent continued with service as proconsul in Africa in 188 to 189 CE, and further appointments in Rome. Now, the son of a former slave found himself in imperial orbit as the reign of Emperor Commodus came crashing down. This was the emperor who so loved the gladiatorial games that he took part in them, where he always won not through feat of arms, but because his opponents let him win. However, he also imagined he was Hercules, the hero turned god, renamed Rome after himself, and slowly sunk into insanity. Remember, this is the man who at 11 years old had been so infuriated by the insufficient heat of his bath that he'd ordered the bathman hurled into the furnace alive. A sheepskin had been tossed onto the fire instead, and then fooled by the smell of burning skin. Commodus believed his vile order had been carried out. He did not improve since then. With the chamberlain, praetorian prefect, and Commodus's mistress, he became involved in a plot to overthrow the emperor. This was achieved on December 31st, 192 CE, when Commodus's advisors had him strangled by a champion wrestler, following his announcement the day before that he would assume the consulship dressed as a gladiator. Pertinax took the throne. Everyone hoped and assumed that he would set the empire on the right path and fix any mess left behind by Commodus. However, he soon proved unpopular. He angered the Praetorian Guard, who had enjoyed huge freedoms and lack of oversight under Commodus. Unlike his predecessor, he did not give the soldiers concubines and youths, nor a generous donation. Instead, he attempted to impose stricter military discipline. On the civilian front, he reformed the Roman currency, increasing its silver content. Remember, for most of human history, money has been backed by gold or silver, so this increased the value of the Roman currency. Further economic reforms were met with resistance. It proved a rocky reign for the new emperor. Pertinax managed to survive 2 assassination attempts before the Praetorian Guard killed him after 86 days on the throne. On March 28, 193, Pertinax was at his palace when a contingent of some 300 or 200 soldiers of the Praetorian Guard rushed the gates. Accounts differ on the number, but he attempted to reason with them rather than flee. It's said he was almost successful when one soldier struck him down. Pertinax's death was part of the Year of the 5 Emperors. He must have also been aware of the danger he faced by assuming the purple, for he refused to use imperial titles for either his wife or son, thereby protecting them from the aftermath of his own assassination. Rather than his son following him onto the throne, after him the Praetorians auctioned off the imperial title. The winner was the wealthy senator Didius Julianus, whose reign would end with his own assassination on June 1st, 193 CE. Julianus was eventually succeeded by Septimius Severus, a former mentee of Pertinax and the founder of the Severan dynasty. Thank you for watching. This is the first in a series on the lesser-known Roman emperors, so keep an eye out if you're interested in that. Otherwise, leave a comment, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you want. There's always more history.